And if you don't know, okay, let's talk about this a little bit beforehand. And actually, I pulled one clip. I have one clip here. This is from a gentleman we've dialogued with this gentleman through emails on this show before. Marty Herz is a guy who, when we were doing the shows on Where's the Temple, he argues that the temple was actually originally standing in the valley, which is next to the Temple Mount. I think he's totally wrong, but neither here nor there. He's got some interesting views. So this is what he has to say about Talmud and the Kabbalah.
Well, I am not one who's going to sit here and agree with those who say that the Talmud is evil. It was written by demons, and the Kabbalah or Zohar is even worse. It was written by worse demons, and it should be not touched or looked at lest a lightning bolt come and strike you.
Okay, I agree with him. I don't think that the Talmud was written by demons. I don't think that the Kabbalah was written by...
Are there people that say that?
I don't know. I've never heard...
a straw man?
It's a straw man. I think it's a straw man. Okay. I've never heard anyone say that it was written by demons. I will say this. I think that the Kabbalah is certainly has demonic influence. In terms of it's certainly attached to the occult. There's no doubt about it. I don't think that you can talk about God in the way that the Kabbalah talks about God and not say that there is something evil about it.
Hello, this is Marty Herz. I'm so happy to be totally wrong about the Temple Mount's location, and indeed I may be, but let's see what the Word has to say. Acts 21:30 and onward. The whole city was aroused, and the people came running from all directions. Seizing Paul, they dragged him from the temple, and immediately the gates were shut. While they were trying to kill him, news reached the commander of the Roman troops that the whole city of Jerusalem was in an uproar. He at once took some officers and soldiers and ran down to the crowd. When the rioters saw the commander and his soldiers, they stopped beating Paul. The commander came up and arrested him and ordered him to be bound with 2 chains. Then he asked who he was and what he had done. Some in the crowd shouted one thing and some another, and since the commander could not get at the truth because of the uproar, he ordered that Paul be taken into the barracks. When Paul reached the steps, the violence of the mob was so great he had to be carried by the soldiers. Let's analyze. Paul was in or at the temple. The Roman soldiers ran down to it. They then reached the steps leading back up. If the temple was on the Temple Mount, a higher elevation, and the Roman garrison was on a lower elevation, why did the soldiers run down instead of up? Another amazing point here to keep in mind is the one about the supposed straw man argument. Interestingly, the boys have just spun straw into gold when they said that no one that they have heard had ever said those kind of things about the Talmud or the Kabbalah as far as being written by demons or anything like that, and I was using a straw man or gross exaggeration. Interestingly, if you rewind the tape, you'll see that they themselves make that argument for me. So much for the straw man aspect. Thank you.